What's up guys, it's Novice here and I'm back with another video. So this video is low-key a continuation of the last one where we mostly focus on actually demonstrating the Azure roasting attack. This video on the other hand actually focuses on defending from an Azure roasting attack. So to defend from an Azure roasting attack, there are two main ways to do so. The first is to get a stronger password because as you recall in the Azure roasting attack, once we get the hash back from the KDC, if we're able to break the hash to actually find the password, then we have the password. However, if the password is more complex and less likely to be in any actual dictionaries or dictionary list or password list, there's a very low likelihood that it can actually be cracked. So that is the first step, or the first way to mitigate this attack. The second, and the one we're going to focus more on in this video, is actually enabling pre-authentication so that this doesn't happen. Essentially, the main reason that Azure roasting is able to take place is because pre-authentication is disabled for a user. However, if it's not disabled for a user, there's no way that this attack can happen. So we're going to focus more on how to actually see when users have pre-authentication disabled, and then scripting out and automating a way to actually enable pre-authentication for all users. Now I know that for some computers there's a good reason why pre-authentication might be disabled, so I'll say try this out if you know that you should have pre-authentication enabled for all accounts. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and hop over to the next screen so that I can show you guys how to detect when users do not have pre-authentication enabled. So essentially what we're going to do here, we are going to run a PowerShell script. So we already have PowerShell opened up. So here we are going to run the following script to see what users do not have pre-authentication enabled. So to do so, we're actually going to do get AD and then dash user. And then we're actually going to filter. When we do the filter, we're going to grab everything. Now we're going to base this on the properties here, which is does not require pre-auth. We want this to actually be equal to true, because if you read the statement does not require pre-auth, that means that pre-auth is not pre-auth is disabled. So we're trying to find this for when this is actually true. So that's all that this is doing. And then finally, we just want to get the SAM name, because now imagine if this was a larger environment, we would most likely get a lot more on the screen than we need to. In this case, we're only going to get the SAM account name. That way it's just more efficient. Oh, okay, let me capitalize this user. Oh, and I think I said this wrong actually. No, let's do it. Come on guys, you should have let me know. Boom. So as you guys know, in the last project, Alice.j was the only user that actually had pre-authentication disabled, and because of that we were actually able to pull their hash, use hashcat to then get their password. Like I said, this can be broken in two steps. Say we somehow got the hash, if the password was strong enough and not in the rocku.txt, we would not have been able to get the password, and therefore this would have been secure. Therefore, that is why having a long and complex password is very helpful to defend against Azure roasting. Now in the second part, we're going to show how to enable pre-authentication, first through an automated fashion, which goes through and immediately checks which users have pre-authentication disabled, and then in turn enables it. And then from there, I'll also show you how to do it manually using Active Directory users and computer. There you can actually go through, see who has it enabled, and then just click it off. But let's go ahead and start with the automation. Now with this, I tested a lot of different ways, and the one that actually worked is going to use the property known as the user account control. Now I tried to do this using the property I used above, does not require pre-auth, but for some reason it's not working on here. However, I did a little bit of research and found out that the user account control actually also invokes pre-authentication, or can disable or enable it. So through that, we were able to find a way where we can actually use this to disable or enable pre-authentication for all those that have disabled we are able to enable pre-authentication for all users that previously had them disabled. So let's go ahead and do this. So this statement right here is just going to make sure that we are filtering by user accounts that are enabled instead of disabled. We don't even want to play with that. And then from there, like I said, we're going to use the property of user account control. Boom. From there, we're going to do where object and then we're going to actually specify this property, user account control, then 0.004.123.456. Okay, so what this is doing is it's doing a bitwise AND operation using this specific hexadecimal value to see if user control is actually a part of this the user account control number, because in the end it's added up into a number with multiple different properties added into it. But to actually control or to see the does not require pre-auth, this will be the hexadecimal value that we use. And because of that, we're going to do a bitwise AND to detect which users actually have pre-authentication disabled. So from here, we are then going to do for each object. We're going to go through each object. In this case, we know it's only one, which is Alice. We're going to go through each of them, and then we are going to enable we're going to enable pre-authentication by working with this hexadecimal value. But this is easier shown than explained, so let me type this out first. So what I'm typing right now is essentially just getting the user information that we stored in these other two commands that were piped through to come through here. So we're gonna do replace, then we're gonna have to use this @ symbol, then we're gonna do user account control, and then we're actually gonna set it equal to itself, well, itself plus bitwise transformation that I'll show right now. So boom, 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 user account control -PXOR, and then finally 0x004123456. Okay, I made a mistake somewhere here. Let's just find it and make sure to fix it. So I get AD user filter enabled equals true property. Interesting. Okay. So what I did here, I literally just went all the way through, tabbed upwards, but I can't really see it. Let me see. So that's what I just ran. What is different from this? That's very strange. So it looks like it worked when I ran this one. Oh, wait. Oh my gosh. It was a spelling mistake. I truly did not see this here. Conrutra. Okay, whatever that case might be. So we can now validate that this worked properly by doing the following. So what we're gonna do, we are gonna actually go to Active Directory. Now, as we all saw earlier, that the user alice.j was the person that had pre-authentication disabled. Now if we go to Alice, and then go to properties, account, and then go down to check does not require Kerberos pre-authentication. We can see that it is turned off. Therefore, pre-authentication is actually enabled. Now, to show you how to actually do this, if you want to just do this manually, essentially, if pre-authentication is disabled, this checkbox would be checked. So essentially, you come in here, you want to check it, and then you click apply and OK. Now, I wanted to show you how to actually automate this because I feel like our environment is pretty small. It has about 10 users, maybe a little bit more. But in that case, it would make some sense maybe doing this manually. But if you're in a larger environment where you have multiple computers, multiple users, it could get messy very fast. So to have it in an automated way where it actually detects, oh, this user has pre-authentication disabled, it goes through, finds everyone that has that, and then enables it automatically. So that's essentially all that I wanted to show you guys today. So now we've been able to run through, check pre-authentication on each user on the computer. Not only that, we were able to find ways to go through and actually enable pre-authentication so that the computer will be well protected. And we also discussed why it's important to have good, complex, and long passwords. So in conclusion, Azure App Roasting can be combated. It can be defended against. You just have to have the right protections in place. So with that, that's everything from me. Sorry this went on for a little bit longer. I'll probably cut parts of it out because some of it was just me looking for my mistake until I found it. So hopefully you guys liked the video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. If you guys want to see more of what I'm doing in the future, go ahead and subscribe to see things like this in the future. And with that, that's everything from me. Novice out. Peace.